Open the chats.
Okay, we are streaming to things.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's watching yet. Is anyone watching yet? I don't know if anyone's watching yet. We'll put a little post. Hi everyone.
We'll say we don't know if you're watching yet, but for those of you who are now joining us, our usual monthly stream that we're trying to start up, kind of like a Q&A type thing, and that's what you're about to watch. In case you're finding this later.
Hi. Hello, both of you.
What's up to Travis and Tamara and Nasha? I hope I said that.
Nasha. Let me add some background music. That's what we need. We need some audio.
Currently waiting on Joey, who is...
He's probably taking one of his famous naps.
I am the Joey substitute.
And maybe at some point in this stream I will do my 4th ever tweet on my Twitter account. Who knows? We might get crazy.
You've only done 4 tweets?
I've done 3 tweets.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Oh, sorry. So sorry. That music was really loud.
He's not.
Just me, Travis. Dang it, I was hoping for Travis and Tamara. Now I'm sad.
Travis.
Let us know how the audio is also, both for me, Oscar, Melissa, Joey, if he ever gets on, as well as if the music's too loud or too quiet or anything like that. Just let us know. I can't hear the music. I can only see the dials going up and down. So it's all guesstimates for me on my end. But, yeah, so we have our Q&A here. So this is basically, we're going to be discussing different random topics. And you guys... if we get enough discussion going with you guys, it'll mostly hopefully be discussing stuff with you guys or answering questions like which of my dogs and cats is my favorite. We'll see. Maybe we'll find out.
I know.
Sounds good right now? Okay, cool. Music is good. Oh, hey, Paul. What's up? Paul is in the house. Yeah, it sounds like you're going to say something, Oscar?
I was just saying what's up to Paul.
Oh, okay.
That's about it.
Oh, he only said
Sup, Oscar?
Like
what the hell? I'm the one who said hi!
I'm on
specifically didn't say hi to you, Colin. Oh, no, there he goes.
Oh, wow. He's just covering his tracks now.
Yeah. Look, I didn't even have to say stuff, but he said stuff to me too. I feel special.
And in case anyone's confused, going for it, we have Twitch and YouTube, and all the chats I have all in one spot. So if you don't see something I'm replying to, it's just because it's in the YouTube or the Twitch chat that I'm looking at. But I have it all in one place because there's only so much I want to do at once on my computer. But so
not Joey though. Never Joey. He's late as usual.
He's
right.
As far as late though, is Joey worse at being late or is it Oscar worse at being late?
No, okay, so Oscar is worse at being late, but Joey is worse at like, what? That wasn't gonna happen. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like what? I keep forgetting about this podcast. We've been recording for like 1 year now. At the almost, granted, we did change time slots at some point, but it's, you know, same time slot.
Yeah.
Guarantee you, he's gonna all of a sudden be like, oh, I thought it was at 8 or something like that.
I thought that was next weekend.
Why is there a female here?
Yeah.
Disgusting. Touche.
Someone doesn't watch our news. Jeez, out yourself.
That's fair. Okay,
I've seen your poster on how do you relate to the game. Oh, you don't know who Paul is? Tisk tisk. Should we let Paul answer? We'll let Paul answer. He can better answer. But Paul's over on Ruler School's channel. If you guys want to check that out, he does a lot of the videos on there.
Colin, we'll let Paul answer. Answers for Paul anyway.
No, I didn't answer what he did. I just answered his location. See, I thought this was a kitchen.
Goodness.
First off, none of this is a kitchen.
No, it's because I'm a woman.
Oh.
Stupid. Come on.
Jeez,
Catch up with
Colin.
the times, Colin. God.
I didn't catch that. I'm sorry.
Obviously. And you wouldn't want me
So,
to I can't cook for shit.
let's get this out of the way before a lot of people are watching and will get mad at me for mentioning this. Japan GP it's been a little bit, and there's still not a ban on Sherry. Just want to point that out. So I don't think she's getting banned. That's what it says. I knew I'd seen
How
her.
are you so dumb? Oh, Colin. Freaking
so-
shit on you.
What are your thoughts on that, Oscar?
On what now?
Sherry not being banned. They said it's been some time since the Japan GP. If she's going to be e-banned, it would have probably been by now. I'm doing this now so we don't mention on the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that it didn't happen after, not Japan. There was another one. A week after Collinsville. Who was the week after Collinsville?
Oh.
Who the ARG was after Collinsville?
Was it?
Yeah.
Hold
I
up.
think
I'm looking
so.
at our website right now.
Looking at our website.
Melbourne. Melbourne was after Collinsville. The fact that it didn't happen right after that one, I was like, it's not going to happen. And it's kind of reassured by just people's opinion that it's not happening.
Yeah.
Do you think
They're going to leave her in.
Do you think that the
Gracie.
roller... No, go ahead.
Melissa, do you think what?
I was just gonna say, do you think that the new rulers that they're gonna be coming out with are going to like kind of balance out Sherry?
I think they want to see if it does, because I mean, they essentially all work exactly the same the way she did. So
I see, but this is my problem. Is that's been their strategy for every single broken rule ever? Is wait, no, this is gonna balance it. No, wait, no, this will for sure balance it. Okay, never balanced it. We'll ban it now. And so that's the exact same thing they've been doing with Sherry's. Oh, no, the next thing will balance it. And now they're going to be like, no, the next cluster will for sure balance it. Even though, by definition, the first rulers and the first cards at the beginning of the cluster cannot outmatch any rulers that have 4 sets or more of support. So, I don't see any way off the bat. I think down the road, with those rulers with those runes will probably outclass it. But not in a bad way, but in a good way. But on the outset, I don't think so. And so we're just gonna I don't like that they're like shiny new direction, and then they're doing the exact same stuff they've always done. What are you checking, Oscar?
I'm not checking anything. I'm saying, nope, she's here. She's not going anywhere at this point.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Is there any more GPs before Worlds? There's Denver.
Let me pull my list up.
There's one happening in Minnesota apparently.
That's the
Travis was
5K.
looking
Yeah, over at Games and Geek.
yeah.
I would love to go to that one because that sounds super fun and has some of the best like prize support I've seen out of any Forcible thing. And it's not even an official Forcible event, which is pretty funny. But no, if Games and Geek wants to bring me out there, I'm down for it. But no, we're
That's
not.
so, Brandon.
Yeah, we have Denver, Colorado this weekend. So Madrid, Spain has one. Paris, France has one this weekend as well.
Wow, even food is getting a
Who's Asian
GP.
country.
Bologna.
Thank you.
Bologna. Yeah, and there's invites that will
Malaysia.
be. Is the 5K have invites? Were they able to get invites? Oscar?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I
I
know
don't
that
remember.
ARG Invitational for sure has invites. So there'll be definitely other avenues, but everything
And
outside
there's
of
three
there's three.
other European ones. There's London, Germany, and Italy are having some more events.
Are
These
they
are all
all
before Worlds.
Are they all cluster?
Italy's might be.
That would be.
They're the ones who have been doing cluster only.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anything, if it's just all going to be sherry for all, because we have GPs outside of the raid clusters. Just we have a couple GPs, we have a 5K and an ARG, and if across the board it's all sherry, that's going to be the most boring thing ever, especially with how cool these events could be. Yeah, no, we'll try and especially now with me being on the ARG team, next season I'll try and make a plan better to make it out to more stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to find more people. Oscar will probably tag along for a lot of that when he can. He might be busy though. Games and Geek is your home shop though. That's super cool. I would love for our home shop to be something like Games and Geek. Do you know if their 5K has invitational pricing or not? Invites to Worlds or not is the correct wording.
I'm also curious how y'all's locals are. Like, do y'all have pretty cool tournaments weekly?
Yeah,
Is pre-release big?
It was cool meeting. How do you say her name? Savanya. Is that how you say it? Meeting her at the Collinsville GP. Just being able to trade in cards and get. I was able to. I think I'm 1 or 2 cards away from completing my Faria collection after that trade for cards that I did there. So I'm pretty excited, and it's cool being able to do that because I haven't been able to trade in cards in a long time. Because I prefer doing that over just selling them. You don't think it has invitational?
I was able to get some Valhalla cards.
Yeah, Oscar did. He spent all his traded money on Valhalla, like a couple of Valhalla cards. He thought about that Loki for a hot minute.
Until I was like, how much is that? Actually, like 280 or something. I was like, oh. Weird. It's not that much on another website I know of.
But yeah, so they revealed for that 5K the exclusive Energized coins that they have, which looks super cool. Did you see those, Oscar? You see this? You hear about
this? I did,
this?
yeah.
It's of the next cluster's rulers in chibi form. I was like, oh man, they're future-proofing.
And the current one.
I didn't see the current one.
They also had the current rulers. Yeah,
okay.
I had Kaguya on her final side. I had Seal and starter deck Gil Ahamat.
Okay. 15 to 40 people weekly. Jeez.
That's crazy.
That's
so
awesome.
many people.
That's like how.
That would be fun.
That's how it was when we used to play Pokemon, just going to the... I think it was bi-weekly, wasn't it? It wasn't weekly. Oscar?
Yeah, we went weekly.
Was it weekly? I could have sworn it was bi-weekly.
Pokemon, no, it was weekly.
But they had usually like 20, 30 people.
Yeah. Earlier on, like before you had jumped on, they were struggling to fire tournaments off. There's weekends where I'd go and nothing happened, or weekends I went and it was like, all right, well, we have 4 adults and like 6 kids. Y'all are doing one tournament together. I was like, oh, okay. I gotta go beat these kids.
Must have been pretty lit during the Pokemon Go craze when everyone's like, I like Pokemon Go. I guess I'll play the card game. And it was just like this flood of people during that time.
Oh yeah, that's when it blew up.
Yeah.
At least here in Austin.
Makes sense.
That would have been really cool to do that. Just be like, playing a card. Oh, I lost. Okay, while I wait, I'll just catch some Pokemon on Pokemon Go, because I'm sure that was a gym or whatever. People come from other states to it. Ah, that's cool. I'm
We've had people come from like all over Texas to some of ours.
To the ARGs though. Yeah.
Like.
Well, for pre-release,
yeah, pre-release. Which, I mean, is, what, 3 hours away? It's a long drive for...
Yeah.
See, I think that's probably the cool part. Like, northeastern states probably like, oh, we'll drive for 4 or 5 hours. We crossed 2 or 3 states. And we're like, we drove 5 hours. We're barely going to leave Texas.
Yeah, Texas is huge. So awful.
Yeah, so awful. Yeah, no, so... I'm pretty excited to. We got more, if you guys saw our most recent gameplay, we did a actual, not lackey, real life gameplay, and recorded and it was my Panda Bomb versus his Umer combo. I told Oscar I want to film another game with my Panda combo that's not against another cheese deck, so we can actually see how it works correctly.
Oscar, play something I can win against, is what he's saying.
No, I literally said play any other deck besides the random Umer combo, so that we could see how the deck actually plays out instead of us trying to out-cheese each other. Therefore, neither of our decks actually fire off how they're supposed to fire off. You could play Sherry if you're being salty about it, Oscar. Anyways,
I have played Sherry against that deck. We did 7 games with Sherry, and
not against this deck. This deck.
Yeah.
I'll repeat. It's perfectly good against Sherry. Anyways, point is, like, if someone came up to you and was like, hey, you can play any deck in the entire format, including the tier 0 deck. Just don't play this deck that literally did not make, like, top 60 at the GP. You're like, oh, you just want to win. Like, obviously the two aren't related. Yeah, no, he played Victor Harris's Shayla. It's pretty cool idea behind it. Yeah.
He messaged me and taught me a combo. Hold on, Joey said I thought it was at 8.
Oh my god!
I told you.
7.
Told you he thought it was at 8.
Went over it again last night.
This is Joey, guys. This is just Joey.
All right, anyways, no, he taught me this really cool thing to do, and I was like, God, I wish I had done it, because he told me there was an opportunity in the video that when he was watching it where I could have done this, and it's pretty much an infinite loop of creating the Shadow of Lapis tokens, where you have Phaley, Shadow of Lapis, and the library hit the field off of the Umer, because Colin had killed the Umer, so I couldn't duplicate it, and he was saying you just put the library in, declare whatever the shadows or whatever they're called, the Shadow of Lapis Resonator, and then you tap Phaley to clone Shadow of Lapis, and all you need is 2. Swing with 1, sack 1 to make a copy of 1, swing with the other one, sack that one to make a copy of it, and you just keep making copies and swinging for 2 until you take your opponent out.
And your opponent, even if your opponent blocks it in response, you banish it to make a copy of it, and now your opponent's down the blocker. If they try and destroy it in response, you banish it, and there's nothing they can do about it. Like, the banish mechanic, there's just no way around it, so it's just a cool... I told Oscar, I was like, feels like that should be the thing this deck revolves around, is that, because you could do the Umer combo, but there's technically, you know, stuff that comes up, as you guys probably saw in the video, where I can block enough Umers or kill enough Umers that after he's done with the full combo that he can't kill me. But with that Shadow of Lapis combo, granted it's 2 damage at a time, but as soon as all my blockers are tapped, he can just be like, okay, I won the game. He doesn't even have to keep doing the combo because it's an infinite combo. But what I was going to say is we filmed that. We filmed 2 other live gameplay videos for you guys who prefer those over the Lackey gameplay. So those will be releasing this week and next week, as well as I was telling Oscar I want to record 1 or 2 Lackey games. Maybe we'll get back into our habit, which was originally Monday was a live gameplay, Thursday was a Lackey gameplay. And we'll try and back some of those up to get... back into our normal cycle of things, and
in about 2 weeks you'll see another one. It's an Epic Stories game that's over 2 hours long that I'm having to edit right now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And the reason why it's taking so long, and I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad I'm doing this like the long way, because I was like, I can just export this and let it go for over 2 hours, or I can work on it and take out all the amount of time less of thought for forever.
Hey.
There's a moment where you went, I'm gonna draw, and I'm gonna think for a minute. And I was like, she's not gonna think for a minute, probably like a few seconds, that's fine. A minute and a half later, she's like, okay, I'm gonna untap. I'm like, oh my god.
First off, I said I would think for a minute, so a minute and a half is pretty close to a minute.
Yeah.
And let's know what that fair deck list is. Is there something... Oh, here comes Joey. Is there something specific about it that's unique? Let us know.
Look at who's here.
And yeah, if you're talking about watching this list of questions, like what you guys are asking, yeah, I have a little box here that shows both YouTube and Twitch all in one location.
I'm I'm gonna read this little part of your text that I'm a creature of habit, Oscar. Then why do you still miss the podcast sometimes?
Same time every Sunday for the past 6 months. I think we're at now, and every time he's like almost every time he'll get here at like 9:20, be like, "Oh guys, I totally forgot, my bad," or like it would be straight like, "Oh, I forgot, I scheduled like I don't know a movie or something, so I can't do it." So it's like, well, shit.
And just like our little book club, every time Joe is like 20 minutes late, like, well, I'm getting there, guys.
That's
okay.
No, whatever.
Get out of here, creature of very selective habits.
Are you sleeping, Joey?
I haven't missed the podcast in like 3 months or something.
An OTK fair list. What turn does the OTK go off? Yeah, I'll admit Joey's gotten a little bit better. Freaking creature of habit just takes 6 months of that habit till it really locks in.
Yeah, that's what a habit is. That's what that means.
No, it doesn't. What was the habit for this? We've done this once before. So how'd you develop a habit for it of it being at 8 o'clock?
No, because I often miss the whole earlier part.
Keep eating. That's great for the
stream. Yeah, that was good.
Just talk in the middle of dinner.
Patiently waiting
I cooked
for
dinner. I haven't gotten to go eat it yet. I went until we're done.
But
patrons who might be watching, I sent those coins out. I don't know if you guys got those yet.
They should have got them by now. I think they're supposed to arrive Thursday. If I read the, we paid good money for that Thursday arrival. And we'll send out the new rewards much sooner next month. We have everything in hand now, whereas before we had to wait to get them in hand. But everything's in hand and ready to go, so you'll get rewards much quicker next month. Speaking
also,
of
Colin,
Patreon,
my point was that. Psycho.
I was real quick going to say, speaking of Patreon, I realized I'd forgotten to edit together our vlog footage from the ARG states. So I'll edit that together, but because it's so late, I'm thinking I might do it as a Patreon-only video. So if you guys are a patron, look forward to that. It wasn't super great, just because Oscar was judging, so it's basically just me interviewing myself and sometimes Melissa, and then asking Oscar how judging was going. It's not great, but... I
had some B-roll for you, but when you didn't do it the week after, I was like, oh, he's not doing it. I just deleted it all.
Wow! You took like 6 weeks for your vlog, and I didn't delete anything. Gosh, goddamn.
I did not take 6 weeks for my vlog, and I did not promise it a week after. You're the one like, I'm either going to do this weekend or I'll do it in a week. If not, it's probably not going to come out. And then it never came out. So I was like, oh, okay, he's not doing it. Delete.
Anyways, Yurika said he's sort of hoping that the rune rulers for next cluster will be more open than last cluster. How do you mean by more open? Are you saying like more versatile? Are you asking, or you're hoping for?
On that note, I am excited about the new cluster being revealed, which August 6th, spoilers start up, I'm assuming with the starter decks. Some of the tease artwork is pretty cool so far. Still digging Isis, should be cool.
Everyone write down that sound clip.
It's already captured somewhere in a database.
But we'll have our daily spoiler videos for that. I'm pretty excited for it. There was something I was going to say. Oh yeah, and we'll have a couple videos that we're making, hopefully that will release sometime between that and the cluster coming out. That will be really cool.
I like Brandon's thing too. I want you to answer Brandon's. Let's see what you really think, Colin.
Oh,
Brandon.
Brandon.
My number one.
You rank the members of TRMG from best to worst play-wise. Okay, so best... See, now if I don't put Brandon at the top... best... I would have to... now I'm going to forget someone on... If I forget someone on Team ARG, it's just because they never talk in the chat, and so it's just slipping my mind. There's a couple people that never talk. But probably like Aaron, then Ryan... Then Brandon, then Alex, then who else is on the team? Dylan. We'll put Dylan in there.
You just answered Brandon's question right there with that.
We'll put Driz after that, and then me at the bottom. Oh wait, Mike rants. He put Mike like somewhere above me. You said there's something else Brendan said? I missed something else Brendan said.
No. I was just saying.
Yeah, that's a trap question if I've never heard one.
It's
Brandon,
okay.
on a podcast.
I'm okay.
Getting ready for set release. Talk to people about sealed tournament play. Let's see. Going back up above all this other stuff. How about online tournament run by the Scrubbies? We had been talking about that. Joey is supposed to put something together.
Yeah,
I think he's just taking his time on it.
And I was talking to some other potential avenues that I won't mention because it's been a while since I've talked to them about it, to help to like run a tournament through them, so there'd be actual like prizing and stuff like that, which would be really cool. So it's just a lot of effort to put that together, so it's just a matter of like our priorities and stuff like that. But we definitely want to do something, so we'll look to, I also keep forgetting about it with all the other stuff that we do. Like I keep forgetting about it. So if people keep reminding us, we'll end up doing it at some point. Because I think an online tournament would be super cool. With my idea was you guys playing in it, and then like on the weekend, the top players will play, and we'll broadcast that live with us commentating and different things like that. That way, it's a whole like event, and try and gain some traction for it as well. What's the best deck in New Frontiers? I'll let you guys answer that.
I mean, Sherry.
What specifically? What Sherry? What colors?
Yeah, I would go with blue.
Really?
Black, green, blue Sherry.
3-color Sherry. See, I would say black, green Sherry, just straight up, because there's not much you can move around that. What do you say, Joey?
I don't know a lot. I haven't seen a lot
on
of
that
those.
ARG team.
Huh?
I haven't seen like enough lists to really differentiate them.
What'd you say, Oscar?
And then we said just a black green share, and that's why you're last on the ARG team.
That's the list that everyone else used.
No other color? No, they always add a third color.
No, they don't. At Collinsville, that's what Alex ran, was black green. That's what I ran, was black green. That's what the top 8 was mostly of, I think, was black green. It's except for probably what's his face from What's Its Country. I think his was a little bit different. It was better, I think, built to counter other Sherrys. Yurkin said...
I'm gonna take like a 10-minute break.
Oh my god, why?
I'll be right back. I had laundry going.
Alright, so Yurkin asks, are you guys a fan of cards being tightly tied to the rulers and having a lot of them, or more so cards like Thunder or Final Battle? Specifically cards like Final Battle, that's a different conversation on whether that card is good. I like ones that are tied to rulers, and I also like generic. I think there's a good mix of both. Like I like stuff that works better with certain rulers, I guess. Like you can have pandas that are good, like I can't think of one on the top of my head that's like good on its own outside of Tigress. But because it's a panda, it works better in Tigress because you get that extra light gem and all that different type of stuff. So I like stuff like that very clearly is for specific rulers, but can be used outside of it, personally.
So I comment real quick. Looking at Alex Blandon's Collinsville list, has white in it.
What white does it have?
Colin over here making stuff up.
What white does it have?
Miscalculation.
Was it in his sideboard?
Yeah, still in the deck.
Okay, no, sideboard, get out of here. Yeah, sideboard's completely different. Anyways, you said, what's the best deck?
Guys, tell him
and
he's
side
he's
deck.
wrong.
Brandon, help me out.
His side deck is part of it.
No, it's not.
That's just how it goes.
What are you a fan of, Oscar? Answer that question.
What question? I was finding this list.
Are you a fan of cards being tightly tied or generic stuff? Oh my gosh.
Like tightly tied to specific rulers, like all that flavor stuff you like.
All right, Melissa, you go. I did this long, drawn-out explanation defining everything.
As I'm researching stuff to prove you wrong.
the balance of it, like having both, because I like to be able to like put cards that should go with other rulers with different people and mix it up, but I also like all the special things that, like auras and just all the things where it, you know, benefits having more of that for a ruler versus having, you know, auras with a ruler who doesn't benefit from them. So
yeah, well, and there's some auras that work outside of him, which I like. Kind of like how there's story cards, but unfortunately a lot of those story cards are good outside of Sherry as well, or inside of Sherry's main deck.
I think there's a lot of cards that are good that are close niche as well as ones that aren't. Niche. So.
Do you guys want, Paul Reisman asked, more multicolor cards or less?
Less.
Less multicolored cards? Yeah. I think multicolored is a really easy way to balance stuff in the absence of dual stones. So if we don't get dual stones going forward, and you have a really strong card that's a low cost, make it a blue-green instead of just a blue void or a blue-blue. And now it's twice as hard to play, but without having to make it cost 3 costs, which suddenly makes the card unplayable and stuff like that. I think it's a really good avenue of balance for certain cards. But I really like mono decks too, so...
I'm a mono deck player. I love mono decks, so...
I'm hoping dual stones stay rotated going forward. Or come back in some sort of very expensive fashion, where it costs to play dual stones. Because I don't like free dual stones. Basically having synergy but not being completely locked. Yeah, that's about good. Oh, I see. Yeah, Paul agreed. He's not against duels as long as they're balanced, but the game does feel a little too consistent. Yeah, I agree. That was probably my first complaint when about dual stones was way back in Alice Cluster when we were playing, and Split Heaven was a good counter to it. And when we were getting towards rotation of Split Heaven going away, that was my biggest complaint. Was like Split Heaven was the only deterrent for dual stones, and with that gone, there's zero reason to not run dual stones. And then Hook came in, but Hook didn't feel like a good enough deterrent a lot of the time. Good input, guys. Jesus.
Yeah.
That what Oscar said?
Oscar, see, this is the problem. He does this on podcasts too. Oscar will go do something and just not listen to the conversation. It's like, what? Get back here. Do you think it would help with dual stones were true stones, Yurkin asked?
You can cut out on me, Colin, but no, it's just probably me. But
no, it's cutting out on me too.
Yeah. You think it would help if dual stones were true stones? Maybe. I mean, I just feel like true stones had all those added effects to them to make them a little bit more worthwhile, because you could run technically any number you wanted, but once 2 came into play with the same name, you destroyed the other. So I would rather have the dual stones with just a downside to them, like the way the was it Null Magic Stone is.
Yeah, like, well, and Nayland said not being mana screwed is something he really likes about this game, and I agree. I don't think getting rid of dual stones gets rid of or takes away from that. It just takes away complete and utter pure consistency, which is a little bit too high. But like Oscar said, if it was black and if you tap for red, you take 200 damage, or when the stone enters the field like we had before, you take 300 damage, but something like that. Or even shit bricks with the 2 counters is a decent solution to that. Anything like that that's not just here's 2 colors, I think is a good solution.
See, I think like the stones that like come in and they're tapped unless you pay life, like those are like, I think those are a little bit better, but I like the idea behind the ones that have counters, because like then you can eventually like run out of colors and stuff, and it's actually like more restrictive.
Yeah, and you're forced to not.
I think that's a good way to, like, a good direction to go, unless they're doing like multicolor sets.
Yeah, I mean, Lapis went hard into dual colors. Yeah.
Right. Like, I think it all depends on like what your set is going to be. Like, if in Magic they have like sets designed around like 2 colors and 3 colors and tribes and stuff, and so they'll have like 3 color cards in there. And so for those sets, like print dual colors and stuff. But for other sets like that are better around like monocolored, or you don't need to reprint. In my opinion, like I'd rather they reprint like really low power like dual stones.
And if they're like really attached to dual stones for some reason, then they should have at least 1 or 2 cards always in rotation that are some variant of Split Heaven or Hook or something like that heavily punishes people for running special magic stones that they have to worry about, like factor in when they make their deck.
Yeah.
This is a good idea Paul has, is say something like tap, remove strength counters, produce white, or something along those lines, kind of like Gem Out Panda, but on a stone instead. That's a good idea, so you're forced to create your own resources in order to consistently create different colors.
You could even have like ruler, like bring back like dual colored rulers, like how Sylvia was, to where like if you want your more consistency and to run dual colors, like you need to run a ruler for it.
Yeah.
Like like Sylvia or Blazer used to be.
Yeah, because the other problem with regular dual stones is the fact that they're treated as both a wind magic stone and a light magic stone or what have you, which lends itself to a whole host of card effects currently that might not going forward, but just like the amount of versatility on them is really nice. But I like Paul's idea. That's kind of a cool idea.
I have a quick question. What program, can you like type in chat if you don't want to say it, we're using to monitor everything?
Why don't you just do pop-out chats?
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Well, because I was going to try and do YouTube also.
Yeah, you can pop YouTube
you can pop
chat.
out YouTube chat. I have them both popped out.
Same.
Okay. I guess I'll do that. Instead of just opening the app that does it for me.
I told you last time you were streaming, Joey, you should have downloaded it.
Yep.
I have it downloaded. I didn't realize it was only for people who. Well, that's what I was wondering. I was just wondering what the name of it was.
You can leak cards from an upcoming set. We haven't seen anything pop up. I remember it's been a while since we've seen, like, I remember Germany. I say Germany because they're German cards, I believe, that used to leak, but we don't really see that anymore.
Yeah, I think.
Remember that YouTube channel too, Studio 4am, used to open products up way early than they were supposed to, which wasn't a leak of cards, but more of a leak of what was in the product type situation.
Yeah, and I feel like there was one store that used to consistently leak as well, that just images and stuff, and I feel like I haven't seen from them. Maybe they were like called out so the company stopped sending them stuff or something like that. But it's been a while since we've seen leaked stuff. I miss that. I remember being like, "Oh, geez, is that real? Does that card actually flip into a giant ruler? That's no way. That's real." That was cool. This is probably a question for you, Oscar, from Urican.
I can't hear you.
This is probably a question for you from Urican.
Anyone think Soda is going to be doing art on the next Valhalla cluster? I mean, odds are they're going to keep pulling some of the same artists to come back over and over.
That card artwork is... As long as they don't get the artist for Final Battle, I'll be okay.
Oh, they are. That's one of the big artists that keeps coming back.
Really? They should grab the artist
the
artist that I really liked from Caster Chronicles. I really like that one. I forget his name now. Or her name. I forget who it was.
I didn't think
Bannerman's
was that bad.
It had some derpy looking faces, but that person actually does a lot of artwork for both Forceful and Casters, so that's why they'll be coming back.
Yeah,
I do agree. The Earthquake Explorer was bad.
I think I mentioned that when it was revealed, and you guys disagreed with me. I feel like, if memory serves, I don't remember which spoiler video it was, so I can't check. Oh my gosh!
Text that look at.
I'm being piled up by dogs.
So something I was interested in is Wednesday. We haven't seen Wednesday's art in a while. He was usually famous for doing Alice artwork. I think he had a couple others here and there. I know he had some Cthulhu's back in Grim Cluster, but we haven't seen anything coming from Wednesday in quite a while, I guess, since we've seen Alice. But the fact that if you looked at the list that was posted for all the artists going to Worlds for people to see, Wednesday was on it, so it's kind of like so hopeful that we'll see something come from him at some point. I know everybody likes his artwork.
Yeah. New Kid asked if we think more pandas are coming. Probably not. If we see them, it'll just be like 1 or 2 instead of the entire set. But Jeff, during the Q&A, had said that the design team was treating this next cluster just on its own without introducing any support for previous sets or clusters. So it's just going to be just a fresh start. So if we do see support for things like pandas or anything like that, it would be inside of a Vingolf. If they ever do a Vingolf den, because I heard Vingolf 3 flop, so definitely no reason to do that again. Melissa, you got a question?
Yeah, I see.
You have 2 questions.
I do. I have 2 questions. What card art is my favorite? I mean, I don't know a lot about like the artists and everything, but I just loved all of the like fairy tale stuff that they had. So anything with that, Alice in Wonderland is what really brought me in because I love Alice in Wonderland. So that whole cluster was my favorite. I'd be happy if they brought back artists who did that. Nervous about doing the news, yeah. Every time I do the news, I'm just like, nope. There's like 20 minutes of me just screaming because I'm messed up the sentence or whatever and redoing the same words because, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of editing.
There is a lot of editing. But it's fun.
From
I
Italy.
like it.
What's up, Italy?
Melissa, real quick. If you're not busy, there's a dog that needs some help.
Which dog?
The girl.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but I guess.
Yeah, let's not say the names on the stream. They might find out.
Yeah. They know their names. They'll
Well,
know
I mean,
everything.
that's how I refer to her in real life.
It is. It's sad. She doesn't get a name by him.
Not anymore after.
Yeah, well, you know. Fair. Okay, I'll be right back then. Well, or not, actually. I was just Joey's son, so I'm gonna skedaddle probably.
No, you should stay.
Okay, well, I will be right back then.
You want to read the Yurikan's thing?
Yeah, I had an order for Vingolf 3 that never got filled, so I never got my 2 boxes. That was only 2 weeks after release when I was just getting back into the game. That sucks because I remember we struggled to find them locally. I think I bought 1 online from a vendor that I had bought stuff from for a while, and then looked 1 locally and was able to pick up 1. No, I tried. See, locals didn't even get them. We had a shop we went to. He didn't get any, and was like, "Y'all guys get them wherever you can, because I can't get any." And I don't even know if Mothership had gotten any at the time.
I think they did, but they sold out.
Locals.
I got mine
Really
at
quick,
a local shop where I live, which is now out of business. But they had gotten like 5 or 6 in, and I bought 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Either 3 or 4, I forget now, including what Michael got. So I guess it would have. Yeah, it was 4 total. I got 3. Yeah, because 2 for myself and 1 for Melissa. And Michael either got 1 or 2. So we bought out almost all of their stock.
Well, I remember the story being like there's like 5 or 6 there, and you had bought in half of them. But by the time he went to go get some, there was only 1 left. So he was only able to get 1 box in the end.
Yeah, which
so somebody bought some.
It was one of my favorite. It's probably one of my favorite Force of Will products I've ever gotten, including like booster box and all that. Just because it was such a cool box, opening it and everything, you're like, oh, this is super cool. And then it was the first time they had storage, even better storage even than the booster box stuff. And it was like, oh, look at all these. They're all 4 cards, and what foil cards am I going to open? And all. I don't know, just everything about that set was so well done, especially after Vingolf 2.
You're just like rubbing it in right now. Like, man, that was the best box ever. I'm so glad I got it.
Sorry you didn't, but I'm glad I did.
Oh, so mean.
By the way, I thought it was very strange that I only bought 2 boxes, and I was looking for water wizards to put in that time spinning witch deck I built. And I was like, oh, here they are, water wizards. Oh, wait, here's some more. Wait, here's more. I have like 9 water wizards. I don't know why.
That's funny because I'm missing like 3.
We found yours. We found all yours in another box. You have your playset plus your hollow. And these are all regulars.
I have a hollow water wizard.
What
for the record.
What the heck are you guys using water wizards for?
Time spinning witch.
Oh, that's smart.
It's really good inside of there. I saw it being played. I remember being at the Console GP on stream, and I'd never seen the time spinning witch play. And then they put down the water wizard, and I was like, "Oh, they're playing a wizard!" And I was like so excited.
Yeah, Colin was helping me build this deck, and I had no idea how to approach it. He's like, "Oh, what? There's no water wizards in here?" Like, yeah, it's cool. I like it. Definitely key.
Yeah, the Valkyrie Chronicles artwork was definitely at least one of the 6 aspects that were really bad about it, especially that flower, the great flower god of our time.
The only reason I know what box you're talking about is because of the flower card. Like, if you say the flower card, I know exactly which set.
Yeah.
Do you know what about the pregnant lady card too? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
The body block.
I remember when we had those spoilers. It was Pregnant Lady and Flak Jacket in the same spoiler week, and I was like, "Do they go together?"
Oscar's like, I'm trying to figure out a way to make Vingolf 2 work.
Well, I just remember looking at Vingolf 2 and like, oh man, whenever you played Pregnant Ladies, if people have like this moral dilemma of like not wanting to kill the pregnant lady.
Oh yeah, I remember we had a whole conversation about that, the moral dilemma of attacking the pregnant lady. And it was so weird because it, yeah.
I'm gonna block with her.
But I agree. I think everyone should at least have access to a product that they want. Because yeah, it's with the exception of like exclusive stuff, like say that Prisha theme that was at Comic-Con or something like that. I'm fine with that being limited quantity, and very few people get it. It's cool to have that type of stuff. But when it's something that's not reprints of stuff, it's straight up a new theme that a lot of it ended up being meta stuff. And not only that, but it's just a cool like product. Like should have, definitely gone all out. And it's weird that we never got a reprint of it. Ooh, I like this. Do you see Paul's question?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Joey, you want to read it?
If you had to design your own Vingolf, 1, what theme would you base it on? 2, what cards would you want to see in the set? And 3, middle of the cluster or at the end?
Go ahead, Joey.
I loved. Oh yeah, sorry, I just kind of jumped into it. Like I love that they were doing Vingolf 2 that was based on an anime, so I would like that would be my theme. I love that like back then we had like Regalia, so like a lot of people were like basing stuff around Regalia. So I like I'd have it like the anime I based it on would be, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this a couple times, but it's the anime I based it on would be Fate Stay Night, and then like they would get like Regalia or like equipments based on their like Noble Phantasm and stuff. It'd be cool because like it's also like historical like Vingolf 1. It's like anime based like Vingolf 2. It's got the Regalia, which maybe I'd tone that back. I don't know. I know they're not printing Regalia anymore, so that probably wouldn't be a good idea. Another cluster at the end. I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't really thought of it. I don't know where I'd put it. Yeah.
Oscar?
Yeah, like I think that was such a good.
So,
Really
I would do a Vingolf. Let me answer part 3 first. Right in the middle. Right dead in the middle of the cluster. As to what theme it would be Transformers. That would be so cool because of that game coming out, and I'm pumped about it just because it's Transformers. And as for like what was it? What card would you want to see in the set?
It's like,
Is that like
theme and then like what cards?
Ooh, for
I do miss a lot of Alice Cluster based things, like say what's her name? Guinevere, Little Scout, Adam Brawley. I'm just like naming stuff from Turbo Feed Scene right now.
There was a really cool Magic recently in like the last 2 sets or 3 sets. Actually, probably like 6 sets ago. But they had the the vehicle. like
Oh yeah.
the vehicle mechanic. And actually, this doesn't really work because nobody really pilots Transformers. So never mind. But like, you definitely have like a flip mechanic be involved, where like, you know, you can play them on their car side and like, you know, flip them, and like effects happen and stuff.
I'm down for that. Or doing like what Oscar and I talked about, where they have Constructicons and all the cards form kind of like Exodia from Yu-Gi-Oh! Just they all combine for one giant card that you have to tap the whole thing.
You know what I'd have come back in this bingo real quick? Moonwheel working stuff, like a stone that produces it again or something like that. That would be awesome.
I feel like maybe if you didn't call it Moonwheel though, like if you called it like Mechanic Will, or I don't know, like
Why is Mechanic Will better?
Well, Moonwheel doesn't really fit Transformers. Like if you called it like what's their like the like energy
Energon.
Yeah, like
what is that energy thing that they use?
Whatever. I don't remember what it's called. Okay, like.
All right, Joey can't talk about
like
Transformers anymore. He probably just watched Beast Wars and called it a day.
Wait, Oscar. Would you put Shia LaBeouf in this set?
No humans. It's a mixture of classic Transformers and some Beast Wars.
So, I was my first thought goes to the classic Ruby, but I was thinking about it. I'm coming off of the high of rewatching Gurren Lagann again, so I'd probably do Gurren Lagann because that would be so badass. Yeah, which by the way has probably the best final 5 episodes of any anime ever created ever. But I'd basically like Gurren Lagann, middle of cluster is obvious, in between 2 booster boxes while you're waiting for the next one to come out would be perfect. In between like the second and third one, and I was thinking about this. How cool? Because Gurren Lagann, Bingo for Michael Bay in disguise. How cool?
Some cars are explosions.
How good is this? And this fits with Gurren Lagann. It's like you start with Lagann as your ruler, and it J activates into Gurren Lagann, and then flips open into like Arc Gurren. And then it flips one more time into a giant-ass Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. That's just this giant card that's just... It technically, when it flips to that, you win the game, but you don't straight up win. It's just like, anytime your opponent plays a card, cancel it. Anytime there's a card on your opponent's field, destroy it. Destroy all your opponent's magic stones, and then you can swing in it with swiftness for 8,000 damage or something like that. Something that you don't instantly win. It's just like a bunch of flavor stuff of like, I don't know. I think that would be hilarious. Just introduce a card that just keeps flipping into this giant ass Tengen Toppa. That's my thought.
What if it had like what if like your J ruler or something, or like they had like a card that had like 7 like tap abilities, but it couldn't like untap. So like there's like a rule where like you had to like tap it in like a drill.
Oh, each time, and then you can't call a stone until it makes the full circle.
Like that'd be so stupid, but like you have to angle it like, you know, tapped and then like tapped upside down and then tap the next way, and it just keeps.
And then tap one more time, and then you can call will or do another tap ability.
I don't know.
I'm down.
Something that has ability.
That's how a drill works. And then obviously we would breed in it would have machines or something like that in it, but I could go into more detail. But
cool.
What about you, Melissa?
I would do it at the end of the cluster, and I would have every single like ruler and card that they had before, but gender swapped.
Ooh.
And so it would be like the opposite of what they did before.
I like it. So
I don't know. I think that would be fun.
So we'd have a female tigress. I'm down.
Yeah, you'd have a male Sylvia, male Prisha. There'd be a lot of males. Actually.
I don't know if I'm down for male Sylvia.
Female Grimm.
That'd actually be really
female
cool.
Grimm.
I really like that.
I think that would be cool, and then it like somehow does the opposite of what it did before.
You reckon
Ooh. All your windstones produce fire will as well. For Sylvia.
That'd be I definitely actually really like a gender swapped. Like that'd be very interesting.
Yeah, and it's like reverse effect, a lot of reverse effects, or reverse flavor for the effects at least, so stuff like that.
So for Yuriken,
True.
I think like not really sure about like unlimited blade works, but I definitely think like Gates of Babylon could be like some kind of like big like 7-cost card, and then it like brings out like 5 like 0-cost regalia or like 5 2-cost however many regalia they have, and then it like puts it on the field or something like that. Like for unlimited blade works, I'm not really sure because it's not really the same.
What was the premise of unlimited blade works? Like, what is blade works and why are they unlimited?
It's spoilers, Colin. I can't tell you.
Because I remember at the beginning it had like a random field that had a shit ton of weapons in it. Does that play into it?
Maybe.
Well, no, I don't know if this works. I don't know if this works. Let me just on top of my head, like, what if you start the game with like 10 weapons in your removed area that you can somehow play from there because they're in a separate space and they somehow transport in or something like that?
That'd actually be kind of cool. That'd be
See,
cool.
I nailed
like,
it without even knowing.
You had Archer. I'm not gonna say his real name because spoilers for Colin. And then like
I'm pretty sure I know his name.
You could get. What if you had like an extra deck? I know everyone shits on the extra deck, but like you had an extra deck with
We're getting runes, Joey.
And then,
they're stuck with extra decks for all eternity.
Huh?
We're getting rune decks.
Rune,
We're stuck
yeah.
with extra decks for at least 2 years.
Work well. Yeah,
that's true.
That would be kind of interesting.
And he can have more than 5 cards in his rune deck. They just have to all be those weapon cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, I'm down. I'm trying to think of what other gender flip stuff would be cool too. Like if like a gender flip tigress, instead of producing light gems, could produce like black gems passively instead, and it's whenever pandas enter the field still. An extra deck with additions in it. I'm hoping that the runes have additions already built into them for some of them at least. Are you talking about an extra deck separate from the rune deck that would have additions in it? Man, we're gonna get to a point where it's because Sherry has her extra deck and stuff like that. We're gonna get to a point where we're gonna have like ruler with the rune deck that can also run another extra deck and another extra deck, and you're just like doing all this different stuff. Like, I'm not even 100% sure in Caster Chronicles if it all uses the same extra deck or not, but we have the ones from the previous set that use an extra deck, and we have deities now that use an extra deck. And I don't know if they go all on the same deck or if we're going to have 2 different extra decks now on top of our regular deck.
I could totally imagine, like, I'm probably going to play, I would play, like, Epic Stories, and I would play, like, Sherry, and then I would play, like, one of the new Rune Rulers, and then just have, like
all of the decks.
Spots. Yeah.
And
hey guys, here's my extra deck.
And you run the Lumia Resonator, so you have cards in your removed area as well you're playing. So you're just like,
yeah, that'd be great.
Just a giant chess match.
You have to walk out.
Additions from outside the game because I need board space. Yeah. Yeah. Epic Stories is going to get really interesting with these rune decks. Especially if the divinity counters stack on if you have 2 divinity rulers. So you just have, and they each have their own divinity deck, or do they both use the same deck, but you can do a bunch of high as hell cost divinity cards in it. So you just have 5, like 10 divinity cards in it or something like that. So you're just like,
I think that plays. Like Frank saw this whole divinity thing come out and was just like, oh my gosh. I gotta help figure this out. I don't know if Brandon's still in here, but he helps do the bans and rules and all that with Frank.
He probably bailed after he heard my list.
He was like, he's not taking my question seriously. I'm out.
Hey, I answered pretty seriously. To the best of my knowledge, I answered. I feel like I forgot someone in that list though, but it's okay.
You said Dylan.
Except for that one person that's.
Huh?
Yeah, there's crying. As you said, Dylan, right?
Yeah, I said Dylan.
Was in there?
Yeah, I said Dylan.
Okay.
I said Dylan, Driz, myself, and then I forgot about Mike, and so I put Mike somewhere above me.
You skip the Miles
I could literally be anywhere.
Yeah, I put Aaron, then Ryan. I think the Aaron's the younger of the two, right?
I don't know. I assume so.
Yeah, 'cause we had a whole conversation on how younger brothers are like usually better than their older brothers in this game. But
So is Nick better than Alex?
probably. Which it looks like Alex
And
is
Constellation.
part of the R&D team for Argent Saga, or is it Argent Saga? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Argent Saga.
Argent Saga, the game that ARG
Yeah.
is making, which I thought was pretty interesting. What are your guys' thoughts? I don't know much about Argent Saga yet, so we'll probably get some information about it at
I
Gen
don't know
Con.
if too much is revealed about it just yet. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens at Gen Con.
You think Alex is a good R&D pick?
I think so.
Yeah.
I really felt like Force Will should have picked some of the higher up players to
Yeah.
pull over.
I don't know why because Magic the Gathering does that. They employ players and top players to R&D because they know they're the ones that are that. Like I said, I think that Force Will is stuck in a bubble right now, and there's no one coming in from the outside, and so I think choosing Alex, who's a pretty seasoned player in multiple games, is a really good pick because he'll be able to find these combos or find stuff that players would want to see in the game and stuff like that.
See, I definitely think they would be good for playtesting, but in that that might not translate over to like designing and making cards.
It's not
Yeah, I mean, I think just discovering things they can break is what I feel like would be key. Like, all right, well, here's what we took advantage of.
Yeah, the whole job is just to try and break the game.
Yeah.
It's like some people are better at going in beta and alpha games because instead of just playing the game, they're going in and trying to intentionally break it, and that's the people you want testing your game in beta and alpha and stuff like that. And same thing with this. You want people who not only are trying to break the game but know how to break the game. Level 100 Games said that Nick is way better than Alex and Taylor Norse is better than Tyler Norse.
But is Taylor Bremont better than Brandon Bremont?
We really have that many sibling pairs in this? Wow.
It's because everyone gets into this game and it's like, oh, no one's at my locals. Hey, sibling, come play with me. And that's how every single locals gets started. Yurkin said about those new Valhalla ruler starters, I'm kind of curious how those are going to work. I was reading up the themes for the red rulers, and one is about dragons, and the other is burn. Yeah, I'm curious about the crossplay of some of those abilities, because burn is a red mechanic, but it only says it under one red ruler, so does the other one not burn? Or, like, I agree. I'm kind of confused about some of that.
Just how they, like, if they're able to balance, like, the themes themselves well. Like historically, in Magic, like, dragons usually aren't, like, that, like, they're not that strong or that competitive. Like, they're always, their theme card wise is like high cost, big power flyers, but like I don't think they're usually very competitive. So like if your theme just kind of sucks, like dragons, you could just not have like a good, like that might be difficult to, I don't know, balance or have a good deck, have a good theme around.
Yeah. Which is also dumb that dragons aren't strong in Magic the Gathering. Dragons should be gods. Instead, they're like, yeah,
They're
but what if
super
this?
strong.
What if this elf is a god? It's like, oh fuck off! I want the dragons. To be...
No, they are super strong. It's just they're just not competitively strong. Like literally, like
No, that's what I'm saying. Dragons
Yeah.
should always be competitively strong. They're dragons.
No.
Why is an elf stronger than a dragon? Why is a pregnant lady have higher defense than most dragons? It's like, it's just silly, I think. It's just silly. Why do some dragons not fly but have giant wings? Granted, Ultra Dragon was a nice step in the right direction for dragons.
Yeah.
They might be they might be splitting the starters. The starters are split by default into two directions. We just don't know how much of that is cross-play, of how much can switch over back and forth between the two directions. You have the attack and defense stats for you were stars or stats you were talking about? We talked about? What were those? I guess we didn't get those. Did we?
I don't know.
You guys are a lively bunch. Anyways.
I'm not sure what he's referencing.
For the starter decks, the attack and defense.
Oh, for the starter decks.
Yes, we haven't switched conversations yet.
Well, he said like we talked about, and I wasn't sure what he was talking about. I don't think we have. Do we have attack and defense stats for them? I thought they were gonna be like
no,
generic,
they were blurred out.
Yeah, there was a couple of images that weren't blurred out that you could see their attack and defenses, and everybody's a little bit different across the board from what it looks like.
Oh.
The starter decks I told you the new stuff wasn't correct about the $1,000. Yeah, I think the $1,000 stuff was just dummy images. It was just dummy images that are thrown on some of those. Real artwork had leaked out from another country. It's still tiny, so you can't read anything on it, but you can tell that the stats weren't thousands on.
Yeah.
Could you tell what the stats were at all?
A little bit, like nothing crazy
Okay.
that I can really like say. Just like maybe like not one like 9, 12, but you don't know what it does.
They're all probably give or take like 300 on attack and defense for all of them. So they're all in the range. There's not. I don't think there's going to be anything like Scarlet where it's 12-4 or something that's like an 8-8 or something like that. I think it'll all. Well, there might be an 8-8.
Probably going to be like 15-15.
I don't think so, because especially if there's runes that add attack and defense and stuff, you want to tread very carefully on what can do what.
Maybe, yeah.
I assume you want to do that. We'll see what practice plays out. Right, Melissa?
Yeah.
This is my friend, by the way. His name is Fitz.
Yeah, he's very cute. When do we know what we're seeing August 6th for the spoilers? Is it just gonna be like?
They'll probably reveal a ruler, because we're gonna do Star Deck spoilers, right? Or are we gonna just go straight?
I assume it's starting with starter decks, and we'll probably see one starter deck per week, or maybe they'll mix it up with the set.
Well, if they want to mix it,
an entire starter deck or like rulers first.
I think they'll start with the ruler and then show all the support for it. I think that would be the best way to go, especially with how much rulers they have to spoil. They might even do 2 rulers a week. They might do like Oscar said, if they're doing a starter deck a week, I guess that would be 2 rulers, and all the cards in the starter deck each week. That gives you 5 weeks, which will. Does that leave enough time for the booster box spoilers between that and the release date?
2 weeks before that, because you have starter. The box is coming out on the 21st, right? Which means pre-release is the 14th.
Yeah.
You're off by a week.
I don't know how they're doing the spoilers then.
Jurgen said, I'm loving the themes of the rulers so far. Probably going to try Egypt first. Also, I'm curious if Feeth and company will show up in some way. A millennia didn't hurt Mr. Space Rabbit. And then Paul said about Billy goes to his music.
Real quick, Space Rabbit's
I'm looking forward to the Egyptian stuff. I can't wait for all of it. It better not let me down.
The ruler I want to look at most is a Ninja Rabbit, or was it a bunny?
Ninja Cat.
Ninja Cat.
You went every.
I want the cat.
First off, you're
The
like Ninja
cat,
Rabbit, or was it a bunny? You do know that those are both the same animal, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the mechanical Knights of the Round Table. We actually talked about. Hopefully, it'll be up soon. If you guys, I recorded a video for our Team ARG that'll be up on on the ARG YouTube channel at some point. Once I get the password to log in, but the video's ready to go. But that's something we talked about on there as well. Was stuff we were looking forward to from those things.
Yeah, I'm low key thinking like they said like, oh, he's a jack of all trades but master of none, and I'm hoping that means that Forceful is gonna overtune everything about him, so he'll actually be a master of all trades instead of instead of
Yeah.
the reverse.
Joey wants the game
Like, there's
guy.
a lot of. I'm just saying, if he's green and he's super broken because they gave him every ability, then I wouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah, one can hope that they figured it out. What are you looking for?
I will say, like, yeah.
Oh, Ninja Cats, 100%. I am so excited for Ninja Cats.
I also really like the bunny, the rabbit. He's gonna be
The rabbit?
Space rabbits, no.
Yeah.
I
all gold and shit.
I feel like I said, I mentioned this on the ARG theater. It was like, I'm afraid I feel like Force was like, here's Ninja Cats. You're supposed to like these because they're Ninja Cats. And so I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna like those. You guys gotta earn me.
That's because you're a hipster, Colin.
You really are.
You're like, no one likes pandas. Oh, I'm all up on that panda.
No.
No one likes Keurig.
Everyone liked
I love
pandas.
Keurig. What the fuck, Keurig? Keurig's all OP now. I don't really like.
That's
Keurig
different from
anymore.
being popular and being OP.
Joey's really nailing it in the head.
First off, everyone was all into pandas at the beginning in Ancient Knights and stuff. So that argument doesn't work. Second off, I didn't like Keurig because he was.
I love pandas.
Because there's too much going on there that I didn't like. Not because he was popular. You get out of here. But yeah, no, I love Android Knights. Like, I think I'm super excited for that because I love Knights of the Round Table and I love machines, and so I'm hoping those two are combined together to have machine Knights of the Round Table, and I'm gonna be super happy. Melissa, Melissa said Ninja Cats. What Oscar said
Ninja
Egypt.
Cats, 100%.
Egyptian stuff, all of it.
So
It better
those
be a lot too.
two are sheep.
By the way, I don't even care if it's bad. I'm still gonna be making some decks to run a local set of Egyptian stuff.
All of my decks are bad. It's just based off of what cards I think are cute.
See,
So.
Town Vorin gets it as well. Town and Paul both like Android Knights.
I do really like that, like, because, like, again, Magic has, like, every set kind of has, like, a set, like, mechanic behind them. And so I really like that the first thing they're doing with this new set is they're taking very established, like, themes, like Magic uses a ton of them, and they're, like, applying that to, like, a bunch of the rulers. So, like, you've got zombies, like, you've got black zombies, which is, like, what, it's like classic, like, reanimating stuff. You've got, like, +1/+1 counters, which is something, like, way back with like Simic decks and stuff in Return to Ravnica and stuff like that. Like, there's like, I feel like they're playing very safe with they're playing very safe and, like, close to the belt with this set, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, no,
like, all the mechanics are stuff that Magic has done.
Well, and it feels like it's old stuff, but with twists. Like, for example, the 100 counters you said, you put them on there, but they're also sounds like almost a resource for some of the stuff Knights of the Round Table do, because, like, you use those 100 counters to do other stuff, but you don't want to use too many, otherwise your machine will break down, because those counters are like parts that put that machine together. So it's this cool flavor and an additional thing to the counters than we've seen before. So I'm hoping we see that across the board. I'm getting my rules confused. Do things die in Force of Will if they have 0? They die if they have 0/0, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zero
Okay,
defense.
so something like Magic will sometimes, I think, have like +1/+1 counters on, like, 0/0.
0/0, yeah.
So I feel like, as far as the, like, breaking down, that's probably one of the mechanics that they're going to
So it's like a 0/0 that enters the field with 6 counters, and it's like a 2 cost.
So
And,
it's a 6.
yeah, and you can remove a counter to Wall of Windows card or something like that. That would be strong, but you know what I'm saying. And
It's
if
usually
you-
exactly. It's usually gonna be stuff like remove a counter and draw a card, or, like, remove 2 counters and
Man,
draw.
how great would Mary Bell have been if she worked like that? Once you remove horror counters, she dies. Like, something balanced like that.
You would not be balanced. She only enters with, like, 1 counter. She doesn't even enter with a counter. Yeah.
She should enter with 1 counter if her ability goes off. Some sort of risk to play this super. Anyway.
Calling back on them, Raybell. He probably played a fair deck recently.
Is it fair that's running her? I feel like there's another deck that was running
No.
her as well. That was cheating into her really quick. Android sounded like streamlined version of Azathoth to me, which added effects for the counters to be removed and moved. Joey? Explain.
I'm not up to my magic.
Joey,
well,
explain.
So, I'm googling Azathoth. Hold on.
I got it.
I know there's a
he
lot
woke
of-
up. No, it's fine.
There's a lot of like. That
Joey's
could be
looking
an
at
actual.
Joey's kids are acting up for you.
Yeah, for real.
But oh.
Oh, it's a Force of Will card. Oh, wait,
Yeah,
wait,
I was gonna
Azathoth.
say.
might be a Force of Will card.
Okay.
Wasn't he the one that was like a?
He's the
You ran
Cthulhu.
like crazy.
He's
yeah,
the Cthulhu, right?
the 6 cops. He had the 6. I loved him.
Wow, the
Maybe
4
I
are
know.
only 84 cents a piece.
But yeah, he was great. I
Need
loved
that.
him. But I don't think that his counters really like were a disadvantage for him.
Well, they weren't.
Like, I
They
feel
were
like
an
6 counters was still a
advantage,
lot.
but they added. There was some sort of cost to it, if I remember correctly. It wasn't just Maribella of here's counters. Also, you keep getting counters. Also, there's no downside to using the counters. It wasn't anything like that. Joey, what's Arcbound Ravager?
I do remember he's a really pretty popular one. Let me get him up real quick. Oh yeah, he was in Mirrodin, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I
that
think he
sounds
was
right.
in Mirrodin. He's a 2 cost. He has sacrifice an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on Arcbound Ravager, and then he has modular 1, so he comes in and play with a +1/+1 counter. The idea behind it though was like you had a deck with like 40, like 34 artifacts, so it's just super OP. It was like the set had a bunch of like a bunch of like artifacts that like played well together and just played way too well together. So it's just got out of hand. I'm thinking. I remember there was a card in the red pre-constructed commander deck that I really liked, and it enters the field with like 5 +1/+1 counters, and then you can like remove a +1/+1 counter, and you create like a 1/1 little worm thing. And so like he basically was like a ball and like separated and could like separate into like 5 smaller flying balls and then like
Go on.
reassemble, and it was super cool.
Sounds like a lot of balls.
That's all.
Uh-huh.
It was a lot of balls. It was super cool. If
Or-
somebody remembers the name of that card.
It'd be cool if there's stuff like that Resonator that also worked, like Yogg-Sothoth, where it enters the field with 4 counters. You remove a counter. Every time you remove a counter, it destroys all Resonators with total costs that are less. And so you remove 4, 3, 2, 1, and then when they're gone, it dies. And it's like a 5 cost, so it never destroys itself or something like that. But yeah, I'm super excited for that type of stuff. It's so flavorful.
There's so many cool like mechanics that have been.
You could play a
done.
chant that's called Repair Facility that you play it and it restores your counters back to their normal amount after you've used them or something like that. I love it. They haven't been, I feel like when there was a podcast I listened to and so they'll speculate on movies or they'll talk about a movie and like, you know what they should have done is this or what they could do is this, Blake, and they're like, oh, that sounds so cool. I want to see that movie. And then so they're like, oh, it's probably going to be nothing like that. I'm going to come out like, why did they make our movie? And I feel like it's going to be like that, where it's like, oh man, here's all this cool stuff. I'm so excited for it. And that hasn't been revealed, and they're going to reveal it, and it's going to be like, oh, okay, that's cool, I guess. Joey's eating. He's getting a midnight snack. I see you, Joey. I see you. He muted himself. He thought he could get away with it.
Yeah. He has the mute icon up and
I
everything.
don't know if
Didn't
you
even
guys
do it right.
Oh, he unmuted just to prove a point. You're not even done drinking, Joey.
Nah, I'm not eating at all.
Which
sandwich is best and why?
Joey, you want to start, Joey?
Yeah, I feel like Joey
So-
should start.
We got Jimmy John's, but I feel like Ike's sandwiches are just a little bit better.
Whose?
Ike's place, or Ike's Love and Sandwiches, I think is what they are now. But
Oh, I don't know that one.
Ike's sandwiches is like there's really good sandwiches that have like all like their sauce. I feel like their sauce is always like really good, and they're always hot. So I really like those. But
The real question: would you make a big gulf out of it?
Oh, a sandwich Vingolf. Oh. A Vingolf after my heart.
It's like ruler side. It's all ingredients. J ruler
There's
judgment to the sandwich.
Oh wait, hold on. Pause. Oscar. We've 100% had this conversation before.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's on
No
the Patreon
conversation.
podcast about sandwich Vingolf. Yeah. Real quick, I haven't had it, so I'll hope there's a possibility a Home Slice could have the best sandwich. It's a local place here in Austin. They talk about it on the Rooster Teeth podcast all the time. But that sandwich, I had a bite of it, and it was super good. But sans that, Jersey Mike's is the best sandwich in the world.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there's Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's, and like Ike's Place are all pretty good. I think Ike's Place is best.
I don't know what that is.
I have to vote with Home Slice because it reminds me of a place that used to exist in Round Rock that it's not there anymore.
And that's only going off of one bite.
Yeah.
Subway's worst sandwich though.
Yeah,
No. Listen. Subway is perfectly fine for a fast food sandwich for like the price for $5 foot long.
Yeah.
You can't beat a $5 foot long there.
Yeah, it's
that's
the
fair.
McDonald's of sandwich places.
But it's
It's better than McDonald's
It's
of
better,
sandwich
it's better
places.
than
I would say
Not comparing the two,
it's a
I'm
Burger
saying
King of
it's the
sandwich
McDonald's
places.
of them.
It's the Burger King of sandwich places. That's what I would say.
It's the Carl's.
You know, I'm really hoping
No.
that somebody
Carl's
was like,
Jr.'s no.
is going to the U.S. group like, oh look, a Force Will stream click. What sandwiches? The hell?
Yeah.
and then
It's-
post a U.S. group like, what's up with these guys? They're just talking about sandwiches and judgment.
Melissa, what's your sandwich?
I really like Jersey Mike's, but I'd say my favorite sandwich is at Mellow Mushroom. They
Okay.
have a great sandwich there.
That's also a
There's
local
also,
place.
Which
Yeah.
has good sandwich.
Ooh, which is
Oh, also
Which
so
which
the
does?
which
have
is
good
the
sandwiches.
in and out of sandwich places. Like it's not like quite at the Jersey Mike's level, but it's like so good for fast food.
I need to feed
The
you guys Ike's
Subway
sandwiches.
Italian BMT is really good.
Yeah, I
Talon
that.
Varen
Yeah.
Talon Varen said Subway BLT. Yeah. Subway, I usually just get their turkey or some version that has turkey. I enjoy that. Their meatball sandwich sub is actually pretty good. Man, if you guys can't tell, I'm super hungry right now.
Yeah, we don't need
This, I really
I'm
like
kind of hungry too.
like oven roasted chicken breast on like flatbread, and then you put on like chipotle and barbecue sauce. It's really good.
We're having sandwiches for dinner, right? Because that sounds really good now.
Yeah,
I kind of just want to run a Jersey Mike's now.
I know.
But I think sign of the times. We're probably winding down now.
Yeah.
Yeah, good hour and a half ish, kind of.
We'll then have to do it again.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll pick another day.
Yeah,
Oh,
in a
yeah.
month.
Whatever works best for everyone in the end.
If you guys could let us know, either in the chat or comments or Discord or Facebook or anything, what day works for you? Is this day at this time, which is 7 p.m. Central Time on Saturday, work for you guys in a month? Does Friday work better? Does Sunday work better? It doesn't work good for us, but we'll do it for you guys.
6 o'clock better.
Shut up, Joey. And Joey's
Is maybe
talking.
like Joey showing up on time better?
What Joey
That
means
might
is
be a little bit better.
stuff like that. Real quick. Gotta look at the baby.
Also,
look at him.
keep an eye out. In a couple of weeks, we'll have a live Epic Stories game. You guys can go back and check it out.
Yeah, with a patron too. I won't be there, but it should be.
I was gonna
I loved it. I was like,
I
there's
know,
too many
that
of
was
us. Who
so
would you prefer to
exciting.
play with?
That was
Like,
the
all of
most,
us except for Colin.
that is the most exciting moment of my life. Is when I got picked
I do have a
for
super
Colin.
cool Epic Stories deck that we'll have to play sometime though. So we'll probably have
we'll get to
a
see
couple
it.
of Epic Stories. I sent Oscar the cards to make it in real life, so hopefully Oscar will send me bring those cards, and I'll make it in real life, and we'll be. Oscar's like, what?
Yeah, I left it look like, oh yeah, that's not happening.
But
Oh yeah, that.
we'll hopefully film some more games once cards get spoiled. We'll also have our normal stuff. We'll proxy some decks, especially once all the star decks are spoiled. We'll either proxy some decks, or if someone, I don't know, is super cool who works for the company, maybe we'll get some decks ahead of time so we can actually show you guys like what it's actually like. Which would be super cool, like what all comes in it, what the foils look like, especially since they're switching print companies, what that's quality wise and all that. So super excited for it. So we have a lot of cool stuff going forward. Oh my gosh, the cat.
Also, we're supposed to get an Architects trial deck here soon, so we can play with it.
Yeah.
That game never comes out.
So if it never comes out, we can at
comes
least
out.
make it a dead card game video if it never comes out. But which I'll be sad because I still want to play it. I mean, my enthusiasm for it is totally dead now. Like it's all gone. But I'm still interested to play it. But all the hype is gone. But thanks guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys.
And shout out to Talon for joining our Discord.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's everybody. This was a good one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I came so late. I wasn't prepared. He
was
my beer
prepared.
yesterday.
He drank his beer yesterday, but he wasn't able to get wasted like last time.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Too bad.
joining, Talon.
See ya.